Dear colleagues, my name is Isabel Núñez and I am a PhD in the University of Cadiz. I'm going to present a conference paper called The Moderating Role of Self-Identity to Improve Linguistic Attitudes Towards a Second Language in Rural Schools. This paper reports on an experimental study about the improvement of English as a second language mediated by an instructional practice based on an international and educational e-tuning project in primary education joined to self-identity. Taking into consideration identity development and sense of self is essential to achieve an inclusive education, especially in rural schools. Many variables around self-identity, such as self-esteem, self-concept, voluntary self-control, and attention process influence on motivation and the improvement of linguistic and communicative competence in second language, especially intrinsic motivation. We take as basis two important psychological approaches to define self-identity. On the one hand, social identity theory, which begins with the premise that individuals define their own identities with regard to social groups. The creation of group identities involves both the categorization of one's in-group with regard to an out-group and the tendency to view one's own group with a positive bias, vice versa the out-group. On the other hand, social categorization refers to greater allocation of attentional resources to the processing of in-group versus out-group members. This experimental study recruited a convenient sample of 38 Spanish students from a rural area in southern Spain from primary education, specifically 5th and 6th grade of primary education. Rural areas are usually characterized by specific attributes. Therefore, studies in those areas arouse special interest for research. The twinning project is described in this study, and it's called I Love My Town, with contents related to the rural local town where students come from. This project involves contents where students know in a better way the local town, their cultural diversity, and their biological wellness in order to reinforce the importance of self-identity in a rural town. Also, the study provides the benefits according to the results given. Results show foreign language learning improved grammar competence in L2 after the twinning project. Finally, this study demonstrated the planning of instructional practices close to students through motivating topics such as a topic close to them with a local town where they better know their cultural elements and they see these elements in the English lesson as a main content to learn and improve linguistic and communicative competence. It's important to get a better academic achievement, especially in foreign language lessons, where L2 is seen as a content that is outside the student's world, especially in rural schools. So for that reason, this school in which the research was carried out take into account these contents in order to get the motivation of the students and can check that this type of projects provide many benefits to improve a student's motivation, academic achievement, and in this case, a specific level of language such as morphosyntax that is especially difficult in L2. So it's also important in this type of projects the involvement of the educational community, parents, local council, teaching staff, in order to get a more cohesive behavior towards these contents and a more academic success. So this study provides evidence of the improvement of linguistic and communicative competence in English in a school from rural areas, and the importance of participation of all the educational community. So this is the end of the conference paper. Thank you very much for your attention. Hope you find interesting.